So today we're going to be talking about why keyword research is completely useless. It's dead. Throw away your keyword research tools. Get rid of your subscriptions. Fire any agencies that are doing keyword research for you. Chuck all your keyword tools in the bin, because Kazra is about to explain why without triggering anyone.
Well, I'm not sure about without triggering anyone. I'm certain that there will be a couple people that will be triggered, but yeah, we've done a lot of testing recently. Obviously, you've got the big website that you will be showing, and it's not to say that keyword research is completely dead. However, the strategy is very much outdated. I feel like when you were, say, for example, if somebody came to me and said, "Hey, Kaz, replicate what juliangoldie.com has done," I wouldn't just be looking at search volume. I wouldn't just be looking at Ahrefs. I'd be trying to essentially niche down and trying to find like more micro topics. Because again, like you're probably talking about SOPs on your website, you're talking about link building on your website, you're probably talking about content strategies, AI, etc., etc. If you were to just look at the juliangoldie.com website, it will be very daunting, to say the least. Whereas if you actually micro niche down and say, right, okay, all I'm going to focus on is talking about link building for my next 50, 60 articles, and that's all I'm going to be a topical authority on, it's a much better strategy.
Yeah, makes total sense to me. And that was a great hook. But I mean, keyword research still has a place. It's just topical maps, and the method that we're going to show you now works a lot better, I would say, in terms of just staying laser focused and also covering everything without cannibalizing all the other pages on your website. Because if you've got a list of 10,000 keywords and you actually filter that down, it's going to go down to like 1,000 keywords, maybe less, right? By the time you filter it down and mess around with it and everything else. And essentially, when you're doing keyword research, well, a lot of people make this mistake, right? So they got a website about SEO, let's say, and this is the same for any sort of industry, any niche, etc. And the problem is, and this is something I'm guilty of as well, I've done it plenty of times, is like you've got all these different topics that you can cover. Could be link building, then auto blogging AI, then it's backlinks, and then it's on-page SEO, and then it's content creation, and then it's keyword research for your website about SEO. And it's just like, if Google's crawling your website and it's joining all the dots like so, it's going to look very messy and disorganized, right? That is a beautiful drawing, isn't it, by the way?
So this is the second time we've actually had to record this. This is way better drawn than last time. I will need to admit that.
I'm leveling up. So if we compare that to the method that we're going to suggest in a minute, and we'll show you exactly how to do it step by step, and also some case studies on exactly how it works and how it's proven to work. But basically, you'd have a website about SEO or whatever industry you're in, and let's say you just decide to focus, first of all, on backlinks, because that's a subcategory of SEO, and that's one where you can cover all the potential topics in that one cluster of keywords, and then from there you build out all the pages that you need to, and everything just looks a lot cleaner and organized, and it's easier for Google to crawl and recognize you're the authority over here, whereas over here you're not really an authority of everything, but you do have a very messy website that's going to be harder to crawl, right? And harder to be
exactly that. It's on the left hand side, perfect drawn. You're almost like a jack of all trades, master of none, whereas on the right hand side you have fully went into depth when it comes to link building. So obviously that's a core fundamental when it comes to SEO. So Google looks at your website and it's like, right, okay, the juliangoldie.com #2 website is only talking about link building. We're going to trust that website a little bit more to do with link building. Again, that's not to say that you're going to start ranking for SEO overall. You're going to start ranking a lot more so on your backlink related topics. But then once you do the exact same strategy when it comes to, for example, content writing, or for example, website structure or technical SEO, that once you have all of these micro niches essentially covered in its entirety, that's when you start overall ranking higher for, let's say, SEO London, or whatever the case may be, whether you're trying to rank for law firms London, New York, whatever. So just make certain that you're micro niching down.
Yeah, 100%. And you don't want to upset Big G. So Google's over here and he's looking all sad because you've been talking about everything and not focusing on anything. And over
Yeah.
here, you've got a happy Google. And that's not Big G anymore, it's Happy G, right?
Happy G.
So let's talk about exactly how to do it. And first of all, before we even get into that, we can compare the differences, right? So if we look at each aspect of SEO when it comes to planning content, strategy, what to focus on, etc., and you compare topical maps versus keyword research, you know, two different approaches, and they can both work. But topical maps seems to be a lot more efficient, right? Because you group in related topics, you're looking at the bigger picture, you're getting a deeper insight into one particular topic, and all of that's going to help you rankings. Whereas if you're doing a keyword over here and a keyword over there, and you know you're upsetting Big G like we've talked about over here, well then it's all going to get very messy, isn't it? It's harder to organize.
Yeah, it all boils down to site structure as well. So if one day you're talking about link building, the next day you're talking about content, the next day you're talking about topical structures, the next day you're uploading an article on technical SEO, Google's just confused at that point. So yeah, talking about one subject at a time, making certain you build topical authority on that one subject, then moving on to the next, way better strategy. And not only that, it also reduces costs as well. So you might not need as many links when you're talking about subject number 2 because you've covered the topic of it in its entirety of subject number 1 as well. So again, you're doing yourself a disservice by doing keyword research as opposed to topical research.
Yeah, that makes sense. And just as an example of this is an astrology site we built out where, first of all, we focused on the core topic, which was astrology, and we built out the subtopics from there. And then we moved on to numerology, and after that, we moved on to star signs. And you can see this website, it went from 0 to, you know, nearly 250 clicks a day. This is an English site in the astronomy niche, very public case study. So, you know, probably do even better if it wasn't public and people weren't copying it. And it works. This process works. It might take time. You know, this website wasn't really getting much traction until a few months ago, but eventually, as you get more authority, you build trust with Google and you start ranking using this process. I'm going to talk through one of my favorite methods for doing that. I know, Kazra, you like to use Google Bard and Bard for this, right?
Yeah, big fan of Google Bard. To be honest, I quite like your method. But when you use Google Bard and when you also use the keyword planner method, I'll show both methods. It's almost like the cherry on top. Like ChatGPT's done the bulk of the work for you, but you're just getting those 1 or 2 articles that misses out.
Perfect. All right. And I'm going to show you a free version of ChatGPT to do this. So if you're not paying for ChatGPT Plus, you can do this for free on ChatGPT 3.5. And so this prompt that is available inside my free ChatGPT SEO course, you can basically take and it works for any niche, any language, etc. If you're doing this in English, you don't even need to put the language in there. And then from there, you can put the niche. So for example, astrology, right? And from there, it will create a table with semantically relevant keywords for each category that you want to rank for. And as it builds this out, once we've got each topic, and I've created 30 different clusters, 30 different subcategories of keywords we could cover for the main topic. So if the main topic is astrology, then horoscopes are like one subcategory that we could build out from there. And you would cover each one in depth and then move on to the next one. Now, once you've done that, then you can say to ChatGPT, using this prompt right here, it's available for free in the SOP. And you can say, right, I want to cover the topic horoscopes. And so you just put your topic right there at the bottom of the prompt. And you basically say to ChatGPT, give me 30 variations of my topic that addresses a different search intent, because you want different search intents so that your keywords and your pages don't overlap in terms of cannibalization. And if you're doing this in a different language, it will give you the English translation as well. And so from here, if we hit enter, it will start generating relevant to the subcategory of horoscopes, all the different pages that we could create under that subcategory, right? So for example, like horoscopes for Aries, horoscope symbols, elements, predictions, daily horoscopes, etc. Pretty much everything you could need to know about that. Are you a horoscope man, Kazra?
I'm not
Me
gonna
too.
lie.
Me too, sadly.
It's I don't believe in the you're born 1 month and you get certain traits and stuff like that. It's not for me personally.
Yeah, I totally agree, mate. So from there, that's one method that you can use. Now, the other method is you can actually scrape, say, your competitor's sitemap, and you would only do this for websites that are performing pretty well in terms of SEO. But basically, you can go to their sitemap, so you put in the domain and then / sitemap XML. And from there, just go to the posts, so the actual blog posts that they've created, like you can see right here. And you can basically copy those. It's inside the SOP as an example prompt. So you would copy your competitor sitemap, as you can see right here. And we can plug that into ChatGPT. I'll just start a new chat. And you would say, take my competitor sitemap and separate it into relevant categories for a topical sitemap. Break down the categories and relevant keywords underneath each category. It should be around 10 pages per category. Now, you could do more, but you might break ChatGPT if you give it too much information at once. And this is a lot of information. Now, for that, I'm actually going to use GPT-4 because it is a lot of information. It's a sitemap with 900 different URLs. If you're using 3.5, then you might just feed it like 50 pages at a time and go from there. So if we hit enter on that particular prompt right there, it's going to start generating the sitemap, hopefully. It's definitely thinking about it anyway. It's thinking about horoscopes. It's overwhelmed. And there we go. So you've got some examples of like the URLs and the topics to cover under each category, like so. So that's two different ways that you can do topical maps instead of focusing on keyword research to get results like we've talked about in this particular case study right here.
Right. So I will show you two results or two methods that you can also do. To be honest, I quite like your second method that you've just shown. So let's do this. Let me know when you can see my screen. Should be able to see it now.
Yeah, it's just opening up now. Yeah, I can see it.
Right, there we go. So all I've done here is I've just went into Google Bard and I've said, can you give me 10 blog ideas to write about on-page SEO? And it has come back with 10 different ideas. So like local SEO on-page optimization strategies, on-page SEO tools. One thing to bear in mind is if you guys have just used Julian's two methods that he's just shown you guys, what you might want to do is just copy these blog ideas, go over to ChatGPT, paste both Julian's blog ideas and these ones, and then just say just remove the duplicates. So then you're not actually creating duplicate pages targeting the same keyword. Again, you're just covering your own back then. And then the second strategy that I'm showing you guys is Google Keyword Planner. It's free to use. All you need to do is just set up a PPC account. You don't even need to spend any money. Then all you do is once you've set it up, go to Tools and Settings, Keyword Planner, and just paste in the actual website that you want to look at. So I've just used backlinko.com as an example. Then once you have that, you then have all of the keywords that they are ranking for, or even if they are also running PPC for as well. So for example, Keyword Planner, it gets 9,900 average monthly searches per month. If you're going to run PPC, you've also got that data there for you. But you can also download this and paste it over onto Google Sheets. So if we actually just download that, it will take a couple seconds to export all of the keywords because I believe it's exporting over 10,000 or maybe even 1,000. But you've got it all there. So very quickly, you can just copy all of these into ChatGPT and then do a very similar approach to what Julian just showed you. And it can then categorize all the pages into content, off-page SEO, on-page SEO. He's on Backlinko, he's also talking about YouTube, as you can see here. So you might even have like a YouTube category as well. But then what I would be looking to do is once you have categorized all of these pages or all of these keywords, is what you want to ideally do is just go after one topic. So pick whichever topic you want to speak about on your website, whether it's YouTube related articles, whether it's off-page related articles, whether it's on-page, whatever the case may be, and stick to that. Stick to that for the next 60 days. Make certain that every article that you're uploading and publishing on your website is to do with off-page SEO, and then you will become the topical authority on off-page SEO.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, two more free ways to generate topical maps at scale. And you know, a lot of these are based on reverse engineering your competitors as well, so that works really well. So what I'm going to do is I will take the prompts and the SOP that we've talked about today, and that'll be inside my free course. Let me share my screen and I'll show you exactly where it is in case you want to get access to it. So this SOP, as you can see right here, with all the prompts and the templates that I've talked about today, will be inside my free ChatGPT SEO course. And if you scroll down past the 150 free SEO tutorials, workflows, and templates, you will see a topical map section at the bottom. And in the ChatGPT topical map section, you will find the SOP right down there. So if you want to get access to all the prompts, you can. And if you actually want us to just create a topical map for you, maybe you don't want to do the work yourself, I know it's quite time consuming and a bit fiddly to do yourself, then there's actually a link in there in the description of this video to purchase that, and we can just handle that for you.
Yeah, we'll do the heavy lifting. We'll categorize which topic that we feel like you should go for as well. And yeah, all the articles that you get is to do based on that one topic. One thing that I would like to stress is it's not keyword research, it's topical research. So what the main primary goal with topical clustering is making certain that you cover the topic in its entirety. You don't sway into 5 or 6 or 7 different topics. So yeah, that's what we can help you guys out with.
Awesome. All right, are you going to get back to clubbing now?
Yeah, I don't know why that background's on. I promise I'm not in a club. But yeah, I guess I need to. It looks quite good out there.
It looks good vibes, definitely. Yeah, I wonder if they're playing a bit of Spice Girls out there or something like that.
Yeah, they probably are, to be fair.
All right, cheers then, Kazra. Thank you.
Cheers for having me on.